exciting times because we are backstage right now here at Kerrang Radio with Zacky Vengeance. Hello.
How are you doing?
Do you know what? I am so good. How are you doing? About to headline the main stage again.
I'm on cloud 9.
Yeah?
I'm excited. Very excited.
Does it get... Because I'm going to gush a little bit here because the thing that gets me really, really happy is the fact that we've got a young band headlining the main stage, and you guys are the ones who stepped up to the plate and went, boom, we're here.
That's honestly a testament to our fans. Like, I know everyone says that, but the truth is we have never had the mainstream success. We never had that huge smash hit song that crossed over onto the mainstream radio or television, or ended up in the tabloid magazines. We've never had that huge, our culture was not part of that. We had to, kick and claw our way up from the smallest clubs along with our fans. And when headlining Download the first time, we, were subject to, is this band capable of headlining? Should they be doing it? And the fact that we're doing it for a second time means that we did it right the first time. We proved that we were able to. So, we're happy to be here. A lot less nerves this time around. It's really about celebrating with all of our fans out there. And hopefully, any of the doubters will maybe end up giving it another shot.
I just can't believe that you said nerves, because I can't imagine you getting nervous.
You could put us in front of any amount of people, but Download's a special crowd because our fans in the UK have been subject to, historically, some of the greatest bands in history. So they don't take anything lightly. It's not, you're playing for a group of fans that have ultimately been raised by parents that grew up with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, and literally you just start there and the list goes on forever.
Yeah.
Because music's so big here, it's massive, and some of the greatest bands in history are British bands, so they're a tough crowd. We played in Germany and huge crowds, and everywhere in the world, but this crowd you have to win over. They play hard to get. They're not easy, and they don't expect anything less than the best a band has to offer. So last Download for us was the nerves. This time we're celebrating the fact that we got through the first one, and we're gonna have some fun, and then hopefully later on down the road we'll be able to keep it going.
It must get really exciting because you guys have always had pyro. Not always, but I've seen you for many, many years ago with pyro. How do you step it up to that next level of, right, we're going to, not get Rammstein level, but throw everything at it?
You basically, you really just have to visualize in your head when you're a kid growing up and you're dreaming about doing this, what are the most ridiculous things that you can get away with doing?
Yeah.
And you just do it. And you just do it. And you say, hey, can we do this? And they say, that's not even possible. You say, okay, well, let's figure out a way to make it happen. And then there's somebody that will figure out a way to make it happen. And you always have to save a little bit for the next time you come back. But, we definitely leave it all on the stage when it comes to performing. These fans deserve a great show. And we have the competition from the bands that have headlined this historically is very steep. So, what a dream come true to get up there and blow stuff up and run around making loud noises.
And I imagine you're the one that comes up with a lot of the creativity in that sense, because you are very creative. For people who don't know, you put a lot of input into the videos and the kind of aesthetic as well, don't you?
Yeah, it's really just something that has kind of always lived in my head since we had this crazy idea to start a metal, hardcore, punk rock band that would write ballads as well. Basically, inspiration, I get inspired by my bandmates. I see where their heads are at. Maybe somebody comes up with an idea for a song, or Matt comes up with some lyrics that I'm really intrigued by, and I always something will just come into my head. I'll get a vision and then I'll work towards making it a reality, like with the stage music video. I saw his lyrics and I loved the lyrics, and I was like, man, this is so cool. I have this crazy idea, everyone's gonna laugh at it, but let me run wild with it. And they're like, okay, we trust you. And obviously when you say the words heavy metal puppet show, depicting history, inspired by a scene from The Sound of Music, everyone's like, what is wrong with this guy?
They're like, okay, we'll trust you.
I was like, trust me, it's gonna be awesome, and I'm really, really proud of that. And it's fun. I don't know where it comes from. It's always an ounce of inspiration from whatever we're working on.
So where do you sit on artificial intelligence? Like where is your allegiance? You like, yeah, AI is great, or you like they're going to kill us all in our sleep?
I think it's probably right down the middle, to be honest. I think there's ways of utilizing it. I mean, it would really be cool to be able to live on forever in some sort of, artificial consciousness. Or I would hate to think that everything that I've contributed to my family and our fans would someday disappear. I feel like I still have a lot more to offer. Maybe artificial intelligence can capture some of that, but I also look at humanity as a whole and think that if there was anything ultimately next level brilliant, they would say we need to get rid of all of these people because this is just ultimately destroying everything.
Yeah.
Sadly.
So
we'll
would you ever do one of the hologram shows and get somebody involved, like maybe get the Beatles together with Avenged Sevenfold or some?
Unfortunately, long after I'm gone, I don't have a whole lot of say in that, as I've learned from watching other artists that are adamant about not wanting to be in that predicament.
You can put it on the record now, and it'll be...
Yeah. If I live on as a hologram or whatever, as long as my family's cool with it, if it puts a smile on anyone's face, that's fantastic with me. I'm okay with any of that.
I love how nice you are about it. I'm not okay with it.
I totally understand that point of view too.
Not okay. I do not want Alexa laughing in my sleep. Do you know what I mean?
I get you. I totally get you.
I'm not here for that. So tell us a little bit about your clothing range as well.
That's just something, another outlet. I mean, once our band started getting bigger and designs were, you had a lot more designers working on stuff, and it was less of like sitting and drawing on a napkin and trying to figure out a way to make that into a shirt. And you have talented artists coming and saying, "Hey, how about this?" It's more you get a point at what you like. This was a way for me to go back and draw on the back of a napkin and say, "What if I did something like this?" and give it more of an underground thing for our fans, for a little something that's more difficult for them to find. It belongs to them a little bit more personal, I guess. I grew up, skateboarding and loving punk rock and putting whatever stickers I'd send in $1 to my favorite skateboard companies or record labels, and you send them $1 and they send you back a bunch of stickers, and I'd be skateboarding around town sticking them up on everything, and that was kind of my way of giving that to our fans. Like, I want them to feel what I felt growing up.
And one thing I did want to ask you about, because I think it's a very turbulent time at the moment for rock and metal, because what we're seeing is bands kind of deciding, right, we want to go mainstream, so we're changing our sound this way, we're going more rock, and we're seeing this kind of divide. What do you think the future is for Avenged?
Oh man, I think you see it. We put out our last album as a surprise release with a 9.5-minute first single, so I think we've kind of proven that we stay as far away from that as possible. Make music that you love. Make it as exciting as you can, as best as you can. Do the art the way that you want to do it. Release it however you want to do it. Release it directly to your fans. Give it away for free. Charge $1 million for it. I mean, do whatever you want to do, but don't worry about being mainstream, because we're at such an exciting time in music with streaming and I mean, we could come up with a song today and release it directly to our fans. And as long as our fans embrace technology and that ability and aren't totally gutted over the fact that there's not a physical release, or just mix it up, do things differently. I think it's truly a really exciting time for rock and metal bands, provided they get out of the old headspace of feeling like you have to take 4 years to record an album, and then you have to tour for a cycle, and you have to hit up markets and all that BS. Like, I think make music because you love to do it, make art because you love to do it, release it however you want to do it, play as loud as you want, play until they kick you off the stage, and just have fun doing it. And if it works, then it was destined to work, and if it doesn't, have fun doing it.
I love that answer because that's exactly what we want as fans. For you guys to make
Me
stuff that
too.
you like. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for chatting to us here at Kerrang
Absolutely.
Radio.
Always a pleasure.